But isn't it funny that, like, we go back to the culture in the 90s, we started doing modelling stuff, and obviously JMO, and the fans would frown upon it and blame. If you had a bad game, it would, he's like modelling for it. But now it's like, unless you've got a modelling contract now, it's like you're nobody, innit?
Yeah.
It's kind of like much more accepted these days. But it was very groundbreaking at the time, and as Scott mentioned before, detrimental if you weren't winning. You know, if you were winning, that was all right. Bex was like, he got away with murder, Bex, wouldn't he, back then?
His eyes are.
No. I think what's interesting, as I say, there's a bit about your life and our lives as Liverpool footballers, shall I say, in the 90s, where we weren't successful enough for the club.
Yeah.
Because we were doing stuff like FHM, modelling, TV shows and stuff, while Man United have been successful and not doing it. But I think that had we not done that, then eventually it probably would have happened. But we were at the beginning of this football celebrity in a modern context. Yep. There was always an old footballer, I can't think of one off the top of my head, who had a model girlfriend.
George Best.
Football, yeah, but it's literally 2 or 3 footballers. Yeah, you can go back in history and go, oh yeah, they were trendy or fashionable.
That was it. Him and
but
Frank
we were
Worthington.
doing it on mass, and then, as you say, now it's become standard fare. If you haven't got some kind of celebrity status as a footballer, then you're just a good sportsman.
I know, boring. How boring,
Who wants to know? You look at Haaland now. I mean, Haaland's probably the best example. This guy loves every part of his existence. Yeah. He's not frightened to put himself out there and do it. But again, theoretically, he's had 20, 30 years of people sort of preparing the ground, doing the groundwork.
I do think, though, that you do open yourself up if you're not successful by having all these stuff going on. Absolutely. And I think if you are doing it and you're successful, and then for whatever reason, because your career is up and down, everybody's career, you have dips. When you're not playing well, you should step back from the other stuff. And I think that shows it might not even have anything to do with it, but it might. You don't know. But also, it just shows a commitment to the fans. This is my number one job.
That's a great point. And the problem with it is, for example, the Armani modelling bit. So there's a story was going around that I went up to Roy Evans and said, how much is it for, what's the fine for missing training? He told me something and I went, yeah, I have the money because I'm getting paid for that. It never happened. All I did was said, Roy, I've been asked to go to Milan to do the catwalk. We've got a day off tomorrow. Is it okay if I go? And he said, as long as you're back in for training on Thursday, then do it. So I went, literally walked down a catwalk twice and then came back home. But the problem was that everyone thought I was doing a catwalk every day of the week. Everyone thought I was doing photos every day of the week. And the photo shoot was one day. It's kind of there a bit like now in social. But that's the thing, Scott. So the lads at the moment, you're seeing, I know Aguero, he's not playing, but Aguero every week is playing a different game on social media. It might be a one-day photo shoot where they're just releasing the clips later and later. But the perception is, that guy, all he ever does is play on his foot. Why isn't he scoring goals? Why is he not, maybe?
Sorry, I sod all that. Well, how was that, walking down the catwalk in Milan?
Did you practice?
No, oh man.
You practiced?
No. Wow. Talk about being in the wrong... Oh. So I've walked down, and because Armani's catwalk's a straight walk rather than a turnaround.
Wait, you're in your undies?
No, I had a pair of black jeans on. Yeah. No top. So I've walked down.
No top,
and
of course. Yeah.
The thing was, I wasn't chiseled. I was just...
Oh, Gemma, you were...
Back then I wasn't.
Specimen.
And I've walked down the other end.
It was as high as 4% body fat.
I was considerably more than that. But I've got to the other end, gone through the curtains, and there's a proper model, chiseled. And I looked at it and went, I need some of them. And I thought, what am I doing? I'm a footballer, and I'm walking down the catwalk with these models who do this for a living. I was in the wrong place. Yeah. It was good fun. But
JMO, I doff my cap to you, because that's amazing. And, you know, to be asked to do that, and by such a top designer as well.
Can I tell you a story?
I can't tell if he's being sarcastic or not.
No, genuine.
It's a mad story, right? So Stan signs for Liverpool, and it was in that era of blonde hair, the first generation blonde hair, and Arena on Plus magazine.
Yes, yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
The guy contacts me and he goes, "Oh, we want to do a photo shoot for the magazine, you and Stan." would you mind bleaching your hair blonde again? Because I'd already done that. And I was, okay. I didn't think of anything like we might be twins, but the idea was the two of us are going to bleach hair blonde, do this feature, da-da-da, end of. He rings me up in the morning, one morning, and he goes, Stan said he can't make it. His mum wasn't well. Okay. Jason's laughing because this was a regular occurrence. Hopefully she's all right now. I said, all right, fine, if you want to call it off. Stan at the time was the most expensive transfer in, I think, English football. And he went, sod Stan, we'll just do it with you. So I'm like, okay, we'll do it. We went out to Conti that night. The following day we did the photos. Conti had to get back in there. And we're in a car park in Liverpool. Norman Watson was a photographer. He's doing press-ups and sit-ups before he takes the photos. And he's getting me to kiss football and do all this silly stuff. So I'm thinking, all right, fine. However long later, I get this this message, we like the photos, we're going to put you on the cover. Wow. And the only reason I did it is because I didn't want to be a model. I thought, well, if someone's asked me to do something I don't want to do, why not? It will be a laugh. Armani's press agency picked up Arena on Plus and went, oh, we like this guy. Will you do some photos, and if they're any good, you can do a campaign. So we jump on a plane on a day off to Sevilla, and Norman, in his love for car parks, we went to a garage in this car park, and he's saying, can you do handstands?
He loved the car park.
Oh, touche. Okay. And we... No, it's fine. Yeah, this was 90s thing, it didn't happen then. And we do these photos in a car park. I fly home, and then Norman rings me up. They want to use them. Bang. And it was one of these weird things that had it gone the way that it should have gone, that would have never happened.
Thanks so much for watching Stadium Astro on YouTube. To catch all the best live action in sports, make sure you subscribe to the Astro Sports Pack.